Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm here to do a quick November 2018 book haul. I have 3 books to talk about, and 2 of them I got at bookstores that I chronicled on my NaNoWriMo vlogs of late. And then one of them I got in September, and I meant to talk about in my last book haul, and I forgot. So I'm putting it at the top of the list. So back in September, I was taking part in the citywide book hunt for the DC Library, and I ended up going to this new bookstore in Anacostia called Mahogany Books. And Mahogany Books caters to Black literature. It just wants to be able to be a voice to uplift Black authors. And I heard they were in the running for the banned book hunt, and unfortunately they didn't have any of those there. But I wanted to show my support for a new bookstore, and there were titles there that were on my TBR, including this one. This is Homegoing by Ya Jesse. And I feel like in my head, I think like it was yesterday that this was huge and hyped, but actually it was like 2 or 3 years ago now that this first came out, I guess. And I mean, this is the paperback after all. And this is the story of a African and African-American family, the 2 generations that split off in the 1700s when between 2 sisters, when one is enslaved and sent to America, and one becomes a sort of trophy wife. I mean, that's not the proper term, but sort of a Black wife, not like the English wife, to an English officer, and her family remains in Ghana. And we go throughout the generations, generation by generation, and track American history and Ghana history. So I've heard great things, and I'm excited to have the chance to read it. This next book I got near the beginning of the month because a pop-up bookstore has opened up in my neighborhood in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I'm so excited because we haven't had a bookstore in the area other than like the used library bookstore since Borders left years ago. So this pop-up is sort of affiliated with another nearby DC bookstore, and they're hoping to get a foothold and stay in the area for longer than the holidays, and I guess it depends on sales, and so I wanted to do my part to boost them up. That being said, it's a very small space, and they had a very small collection of books, so I was a little nervous, but I did indeed find something that was on my own TBR, so I felt like I could buy it. And what I found was The Incendiaries by R.O. Kwon. And I've heard some mixed things about this book, I think, although I remember the bookseller said it was her favorite of the year. And I'm very intrigued by the premise because it's about Korean students and how they interact with extremist religion, and it seems to be about charisma between friends as well. These are the types of things I heard about it and what would stick out to me because it's the type of stuff I'm interested in. I can tell you just through flipping through it, one thing that annoys me is that she seems to be the sort of author who doesn't use quotation marks for her characters in dialogue. That just gets under my skin. And finally, around the middle of the month, actually on Veterans Day, I spent the day in Eastern Market, a neighborhood in DC. I went to these 2 coffee shops where NaNoWriMo write-ins were held, although they weren't being held at the time, but I heard about them through the NaNoWriMo forum, so I thought I have the day off and I can go to these coffee shops and try them out and do some writing. And while I was there, I thought I might go to the used bookstore, Capitol Hill Books, which is one of those iconic places, a little house that's stuffed to the gills with books. And I've only gone a couple times before, and I thought, well, I'll go again, I'll find something, and it'll, be nice and fun. That being said, I stayed in the fiction area for, like the fiction rooms, which was the upstairs area for hours. I was trying to go by my own rules, which is I don't like to buy books unless they're on my TBR. So I found books that I had heard of before and were maybe of interest to me even, and certainly a lot of books that I'd never heard of, but if I took the time I'd probably be interested in them too. But I held on to that stubbornness. It's sort of my way of trying not to get these book hauls too insane and my TBR too insane, I guess. So actually I was a little stressed by it all, by how long it took. I don't know. But in retrospect, it feels like it's kind of fun, like a scavenger hunt, and maybe what I should do when I go next filled to the gills used bookstore like that is to come with my list of TBRs on, rather than draining my phone to look at them. And I'll just go off one by one and search for them. And maybe it'll be fun. And anyway, I ultimately, after a few hours, on like a hidden shelf, you know, because they were the books were double stacked, and finally on like the second stack, I guess as it were, I found this, which I've had on my book for a couple of years. This is Syracusa by Delia Ephron, and I feel I should at least read one synopsis, so I will read from the flap. An electrifying novel about marriage and deceit from best-selling author Delia Ephron that follows two couples on vacation in Syracusa, a town on the coast of Sicily, where the secrets they have hidden from one another are exposed and relationships are unraveled. New Yorkers Michael, a famous writer, and Lizzie, a journalist, travel to Italy with their friends from Maine, Finn, his wife Taylor, and their daughter Snow. From the beginning, says Taylor, it was a conspiracy for Lizzie and Finn to be together. Told Rashomon style in alternating points of view, the characters expose and stumble upon lies and infidelities past and present. Snow, 10 years old and precociously drawn into a far more adult drama, becomes the catalyst for a catastrophe as the novel explores collusion and betrayal in marriage. With her inimitable psychological astuteness and uncanny understanding of the human heart, Ephron delivers a powerful meditation on marriage, friendship, and the meaning of travel. Set on the sun-drenched coast of the Ionian Sea, Syracusa unfolds with the pacing of a psychological thriller and delivers an unexpected final act that none will see coming. So, ooh, you know, that sort of thriller genre bent, I think, could probably get more readers interested in this sort of thing. And I feel like I remember some people talking about this back in the day when it first came out. I heard about it first, I'm pretty sure, on the Jewish Book Council site. I believe Ephron is a Jewish writer, and quite possibly some of the characters are Jewish, if nominally so, perhaps. At least it's not coming out in this backdrop. I also love the setting. I'm hoping it'll be intriguing, the Italian setting. So, yeah. So that about covers it for me now. I am filming this when I have about a day and a half, or really less than that, left of NaNoWriMo, and I got lots of words to write. But I wanted to go ahead and film a booktube video as well because, you know, I'm excited to get back into the reading world a little more than I've been doing this month, and getting back into narrating my hauls and wrap-ups and that sort of thing for all of you. I'm very excited for all of that, but for now I gotta go write, and I'm sure if you're doing NaNoWriMo, you do too. So, happy reading, happy writing, thanks so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.